Have you ever been sitting with your family during dinner and suddenly everyone starts laughing at something someone said? You smile too, but the truth is you did not really hear the joke. And for a brief moment, a quiet question appears in your mind. Is my hearing starting to fade? Moments like this are more common than many people realize, especially after the age of 60. At first it feels small. Maybe it only happens in a noisy restaurant. Maybe it happens during a busy family gathering when many people are talking at the same time. So most people ignore it. They simply assume that this is a normal part of getting older. But after many years working with older adults, I have learned that the story is often more complicated than that. In many cases, the ears are not simply failing. Instead, the body may be sending a quiet signal that certain systems need more care and attention. My name is Dr. Javier Morales. I have spent many years studying healthy aging and helping older adults maintain mental clarity, strong social connections, and a better quality of life as they move through their 60s and beyond. Today, we are going to talk about something that many seniors experience but rarely discuss openly: the subtle moment when conversations begin to feel just a little harder to follow than they once were. In this episode, we will explore the biggest misunderstanding about hearing changes after 60. We will look at what may actually be happening inside the ear and the nervous system. And finally, I will guide you through a simple daily ear care routine made of 9 gentle steps that you can practice at home. One of the biggest misunderstandings about hearing after the age of 60 is the belief that nothing can be done. Many people assume that once hearing begins to change, the only option is to simply accept it or eventually use a hearing aid. But the reality is often more complex than that. Yes, it is true that the ears change as we grow older. Inside the inner ear, there are tiny sensory cells that help translate sound into signals the brain can understand. Over time, these cells can become less sensitive. This natural process is sometimes called age-related hearing change. However, what many people experience day to day is not only caused by aging itself. In fact, many seniors notice several small but frustrating problems long before any serious hearing loss appears. The first problem is hearing sounds but struggling to clearly understand words. Voices may seem slightly muffled, especially when people speak quickly. The second problem appears in busy environments. In places like family gatherings, restaurants, or social events, it becomes difficult to focus on one voice when several people are speaking. The third common issue is needing people to repeat themselves more often than before. Many older adults begin saying, "Please repeat that," or "What did you say?" several times during a conversation. The fourth experience is a feeling of pressure or fullness around the ears, particularly in the morning or after waking up. And the fifth problem is something many people do not expect. Conversations themselves can become tiring. When the brain has to work harder to process sound, listening for long periods can feel surprisingly exhausting. When people experience these changes, they often assume their hearing is permanently declining. But in many situations, these symptoms are connected to other factors, such as circulation muscle, tension around the neck and jaw, and the way the auditory nervous system is being stimulated. And this is exactly why understanding what is happening inside the ear is so important. To understand why hearing sometimes becomes less clear with age, it helps to understand something simple about how the ear actually works. Many people imagine the ear as a small organ that simply receives sound, but in reality, hearing is the result of several systems in the body working together. Sound first enters through the outer ear and travels toward the inner ear, where a small spiral-shaped structure called the cochlear sites. Inside this structure are thousands of microscopic sensory cells that translate vibration into electrical signals. These signals then travel through the auditory nerve to the brain, where sound is finally interpreted as speech music or background noise. Because this process involves circulation, nerves, and muscles, even small changes in the body can influence how clearly we hear. One important factor is blood circulation. The inner ear depends on a very small and delicate blood supply. If circulation becomes slightly reduced, the sensitivity of the hearing system can also decrease. Another factor is tension around the neck and jaw. The muscles in these areas sit very close to the nerves and blood vessels that support the ears. When these muscles remain tight for long periods, they can place subtle pressure on these pathways. The third factor involves the natural sensitivity of the cochlea itself. As people age, the tiny sensory cells inside the inner ear may respond less strongly to sound vibrations. The fourth factor is the activity of the auditory nervous system. Just like other parts of the brain, the hearing pathways stay strong when they are regularly stimulated. When conversations become difficult and people begin avoiding social situations, these pathways may become less active. The fifth factor involves fluid balance and lymphatic drainage around the ear. When this system is not functioning efficiently, some people experience pressure or a feeling of fullness around the ears. When several of these factors appear together, the result can be the subtle hearing difficulties many seniors notice in daily life. The good news is that many of these systems respond well to gentle daily care and stimulation. Now that we understand what may be happening inside the ear, an important question naturally appears. If several systems in the body influence hearing, is there anything simple we can do each day to support these systems? The answer in many cases is yes. Just like our muscles, joints, and circulation benefit from regular movement and attention, the structures that support hearing also respond to gentle daily stimulation. When the areas around the ears receive better blood circulation, the inner ear is more likely to receive the oxygen and nutrients it needs to function well. When the muscles of the neck and jaw are relaxed, pressure on nearby nerves and blood vessels can be reduced. And when the auditory system continues to receive small forms of stimulation, the brain remains more engaged in processing sound. This is why many hearing specialists encourage simple routines that support circulation, nerve activation, and relaxation around the head and neck. These routines are not meant to replace medical care. They do not cure hearing loss, and they should never replace a professional hearing evaluation when symptoms become serious. But they can support the systems that allow the ear and the brain to communicate clearly. Think of it in the same way people think about daily care for the rest of the body. We brush our teeth to support dental health. We stretch our bodies to support flexibility, and in a similar way, gentle stimulation around the ears can help maintain awareness, circulation, and nerve activity that contribute to hearing. This is why many older adults find that a small daily ear care routine can help them feel more comfortable during conversations and less strained while listening, and the routine we are about to explore is designed to do exactly that. Now let us look at a simple daily routine that can help support the systems connected to hearing. This routine is gentle, requires no equipment, and can be done while sitting comfortably at home. The entire process takes only a few minutes. Step 1 is a gentle massage behind the ears. Place 3 fingers behind each ear and slowly move them in small circular motions. Continue for about 10 to 15 seconds. This area sits near important tissues that support circulation and drainage around the ear. Step 2 is rubbing the outer ear. Using your fingers, gently rub the front and back of the ears. Move from the top of the ear down toward the earlobe. This stimulates many small nerve endings located on the surface of the ear. Step 3 is placing your palms over the ears. Gently cup your hands over both ears and hold them there for about 10 seconds. The warmth from your hands may help encourage blood flow to the surrounding tissues. Step 4 is a light stretch for the neck. Slowly tilt your head towards your right shoulder and hold for a few seconds. Then repeat on the other side. This movement helps relax the muscles that sit close to the nerves and blood vessels connected to the ears. Step 5 is gentle ear pulling. Using your thumb and index finger, hold the outer edge of the ear and pull very gently outward. Hold for a few seconds and then release. This movement stimulates connective tissues and nerve endings in the ear. Step 6 is a soft humming sound. Close your mouth, breathe slowly through your nose, and hum gently for about 10 seconds. The vibration created by humming travels through the bones of the face and can stimulate structures inside the ear. Step 7 is shoulder relaxation with deep breathing. Slowly roll your shoulders back and take a slow deep breath. This helps release tension that often builds in the upper body and neck. Step 8 is a quiet listening moment. Sit still for a few seconds and focus your attention on the sounds around you. You may notice distant noises, small background sounds, or even your own breathing. Step 9 is consistency. The most important part of this routine is repeating it daily. When these gentle movements are practiced regularly, they help maintain circulation, relaxation, and awareness in the systems connected to hearing. Before we finish today, I would like to share a personal thought with you. After many years of working with older adults, I have noticed something interesting. When people begin paying attention to small daily habits that support their body, they often feel a meaningful difference in their daily life. Not always in dramatic ways, but in small improvements that make conversations easier and social moments more enjoyable. In my experience, hearing health is often connected to how well we care for the systems around the ears. Circulation, muscle tension, nervous system activity, and simple listening awareness all play a role. That is why gentle routines, like the one we discussed today, can sometimes help support the natural functions of the ear and the brain. However, I want to be very clear about something important. The information shared in this episode is based on general knowledge about healthy aging and supportive daily habits. It reflects my professional experience and observations over the years, but it should not be considered a medical diagnosis or a replacement for professional medical advice. If you notice sudden hearing loss, persistent ringing in the ears, dizziness, or a clear difference between your two ears, it is very important to consult a qualified doctor or hearing specialist. Proper medical evaluation is always the safest step when it comes to hearing health. What this routine offers is something simpler. It is a small daily practice that may help support circulation, relaxation, and awareness around the ears. And sometimes those small acts of care can make a meaningful difference, because hearing is not only about sound, it is about staying connected to the people around us. It is about sharing stories, enjoying laughter, and being present during the moments that truly matter. So today, I invite you to take a small step. Try the first movement of the routine and give your ears a moment of gentle attention. And in our next conversation, we will explore another sense that quietly changes after 60 and has a surprising connection with brain health. Until then, take good care of yourself and take good care of your ears.